So I think it'd be safe to assume that if you clicked on this video just now that you're probably living in a different state and considering making a move to somewhere different. You probably thought to yourself, should I live in Minnesota? Hopped on YouTube and then boom! Now we're here. Well, if you want to find the answers to that question, then stay tuned. What's going on, guys? BrandonArchie here, aka your favorite Minnesota realtor, and actually, hold on. New toy. And today I'm going to be answering the question of, should you live in Minnesota, or more specifically, who should live in Minnesota? But also make sure to stay till the end of the video because I'm also going to be going over who probably shouldn't live in Minnesota. But before we get started, if you are indeed considering making a move here, whether it be now or in the near future, I highly encourage you to start that process by shooting me an email at BrandonArchie@kw.com so we can set up a quick meeting to go over what it is you're looking for and how we can make your move as smooth as possible. And now, let's get started. All right, starting off with number one, if you are someone that likes being outdoors and being active, then Minnesota may be a great place for you. Now, Minnesota consistently ranks in the top 3 for states with the largest network of paved trails. So if you're a bike lover, then this will be great for you because you can get almost anywhere in the Twin Cities just by taking bike trails. Now, to give you an example, I live in Maple Grove, which is about 20 minutes or so from Minneapolis by car. Now, I could easily hop on a bike trail from here and ride all the way to downtown Minneapolis, no problem. Now, if you want more of an extreme biking experience with different trails, jumps, and overall off-roading, then Minnesota has you covered in that department as well. You can drive up to Spirit Mountain, which is just north of Duluth, and enjoy miles and miles of bike trails while also experiencing nature at the same time. Now, one of the best parts is that they actually have trails for all difficulty levels, so whether you want to take a leisurely stroll or if you want to channel your inner Evel Knievel, Spirit Mountain has you covered. Now, obviously, Minnesota has plenty of outdoor activities as well. The entire state is designed around being outside. Now, for number 2, if you're moving here for work, then it's great to know that Minnesota has a very strong job economy and consistently has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the entire country year after year. It also helps when you have as many Fortune 500 companies as we do here. Now, you'll hear a lot of people here complaining about the taxes and how much we pay.
Oh, lovely taxes!
But what they don't talk about is how Minnesota also ranks in the top states for median household income when compared to other states. So just know that there aren't any shortages of opportunities here. Now, for number 3, if you're someone that has kids, you may want to consider making a move here. Now, Minnesota is typically somewhere around the top 20 for states with best public school systems, with our best school district being Wayzata. Now, I did talk a little bit about Wayzata School District in the Plymouth, Minnesota video, which you can watch here. And we also rank in the top 10 for most educated states in the country, with 50% of the population being college educated, according to US News. Now, another reason why Minnesota is great for families and just overall is because we also rank in the top 10 states with the best quality of life. Hey, if you're finding this video helpful right now, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, please and thank you. So for number 4, our food here is pretty diverse and we're home to the nation's #1 Minnesota State Fair, which has over 300 different kinds of food vendors serving all kinds of crazy concoctions from dill pickle beer to cheesecake on a stick. And you can watch that video here. Now, I've also talked about this before in previous videos, but Minnesota is known for creating foods such as the Juicy Lucy, microwave popcorn, and even the Milky Way candy bar. Also, if you're a beer lover, then you'll love Minnesota as well, seeing that we have over 100 different craft beer makers, 3 of them being in the 50 largest breweries in the entire United States. Number 5, the people here are super nice, and I mean really nice. Minnesota nice, to be exact. Minnesota nice is definitely a real thing up here, and you won't be disappointed with the people up here. It's pretty easy to start a conversation with just about anybody, and if you need help with something, there's no shortage of people that will be willing to do so. Now, the people here are very non-confrontational and keep to themselves, which you could see as a negative, but I would argue that that's a pro for the most part. Now, if you're moving here from a state like Florida or Texas where it's unbearably hot all summer, then you'll be happy to know that Minnesota has all 4 seasons. Although the main complaint about Minnesota is obviously the cold winters, but I'd argue that the cold winters are much better than the blistering hot summers. Especially since when it's cold out, you can just put more clothes on. But when it's crazy hot out, you can only take off so much before you run the risk of getting arrested. Now in Minnesota, we have a full spring, summer, fall, and winter, which gives you some variety throughout the year. Now it is fun because there also are different events that you can do throughout Minnesota based on whatever season it is. Now, if you want to learn more about Minnesota winters, then you can watch this video up here that I made this past winter where we got completely dumped on with snow. And I mean, probably the most snow that I've ever seen in the 35 years I've been alive. And lastly, the Twin Cities is a very big metro area, the 16th largest in the entire United States to be exact, and it gives you plenty of options as far as environment, cost of living, schools, etc. The infrastructure here is so good that pretty much anywhere within the Twin Cities area is less than 30 minutes or so away from downtown Minneapolis. So whether you're looking for a city life, suburb life, or a combination of both, you have a vast amount of options to choose from. God, this chair is so squeaky. Okay, so now that we've talked about some of the reasons why someone would want to move to Minnesota, let's talk about some of the reasons why you wouldn't want to move here. All right, so the first reason would be the higher taxes. And for this one, I'm specifically talking to the retired folks or soon to be retired folks. Now, for someone on a fixed income, Minnesota is typically seen as not a good state to retire in. That's why a lot of people from here retire and move to states like Arizona or Florida. Well, that and the warmer weather. Now, segueing perfectly into the second reason why Minnesota may not be good for you is if you hate the cold weather. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that our winters don't hit different, because they do, especially as you get older. Now, in my opinion, though, I would definitely say that they're just more annoying to deal with than anything. I mean, think about it. If I have an appointment somewhere, then that means I have to leave way earlier if I want to get there on time. And if you park a car outside, you'll have to remember to warm it up first. Dude, what the fuck? And if you're a dog owner like me, then you pretty much have to get fully clothed just to take the dog out to pee for 30 seconds, and then come back in the house and take it all back off. Annoying. Now, if you're someone who's very direct or doesn't pick up on body language very well, then you may not want to live here because Minnesotans are very passive aggressive, which could make it hard to communicate at times. Now, you may end up offending someone and have no clue you did anything wrong, or you may think that you come to resolution only for someone to realize that somebody was talking behind your back and you didn't really figure out anything. The reason being is that Minnesotans are very conflict avoidant, and it's very hard to get someone here to tell you how they really feel. I mean, how they really feel. You have to be really good at identifying body language and picking up on different social cues. Now, piggybacking off of this, if you're looking for a place to start off fresh and make a bunch of new friends, then you're gonna have a hard time here. Now, I mentioned this in the video I posted last week, but Minnesotans are very nice and introverts, but we keep that inner circle of friends very tight. And most of the friends we have are friends that we went to school with, and as a brand new person, it can be a little difficult at first. Now, there are way more pros and cons about living in Minnesota than I put in this video, but I really didn't feel like making a 30-minute video on the topic. So if you want to know more about if Minnesota will be the right place for you, then shoot me an email at BrandonArchie@kw.com, and don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Button. Don't forget to subscribe.